Everyday Peoples. I'm here with Gloria Foster Williams. Very special person. And to all the single mothers out there who are going to be watching this, you understand why she's so special. So Gloria, tell the people who you are and what do you do.
I'm Gloria Foster Williams, and I'm chairman of an organization called the Mamie Lee Scholarship Fund for Single Mothers. And I started this organization because of my experiences in life that I had, and I thought about my grandmother who supported me so much in furthering my education as a single mother, as well as my mother's support. So initially, to kick off the organization, I decided to have a fundraiser in honor of 3 women who had an impact on my life in furthering my education. And that was my mom, my cousin named Maxine, who has gone to be with the Lord, and a lady who I was very, very impressed with because of the accomplishments that she had made without even being able to read. And but since then, she's gone back to further her education, and she's able to read, and she's still leaping and making accomplishments and bounds, and she's now in her 70s along with my mother. And also, my grandmother, who was deceased in 2002, she's always will be honored with her name being titled for this organization.
My condolences to Grandma, and I think that what you're doing is great. It's something similar to TAN. I can't pronounce it the way it's spelled, but Temporary Association for Needy Families. It recently got cut by our current president, but I think that people in general, as far as this society is concerned, should do for self. So yes, we as a people can become self-sufficient, and I applaud you for what you're doing, because it's very needed, especially in today's society where a lot of our young black males are either at war or dying. Even though it's not gender-based anymore, gender-biased rather, it's still a lot of people dying in wars, a lot of our youth getting locked up because this country is like #1 when it comes to prisons.
Yes.
So you have a lot of women who are raising kids on their own.
Yes.
And you have, at the same time, you have a lot of women that are also in college and graduating in leaps and bounds as far as comparison to men.
Absolutely.
So nonetheless, I think it's important what you're doing, because there's going to be a big gap between women who have education because they choose to have kids later on in life versus women who have kids early for whatever reason it may be. They don't have the educational components to compete in today's society. So what you're doing, I applaud you for it.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. So with your grandmother being inspiration, was there anything else that inspired you for this?
My life experiences. I remember how God sent people to help me.
You want to tell us a story, if you can?
I remember there was a time when I used to get an eviction notice every month, but there were people there to help me, and I was never put out. Different organizations that helped me, that I was directed to, and the property owner, who always was inspirational in his words to encourage me to continue to move on and move forward, because one day this too shall pass.
It always does. All troubles have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yes, yes.
A lot of people don't realize that you just got to keep on keeping on, and you'll be behind it before you even know it. You'll start laughing about the situation.
Absolutely. Sometimes I do. I'll have a smile on my face, and sometimes my husband will say, "Oh, what you thinking about?" And I don't even answer sometimes, because I'm thinking about how God brought me through one of those experiences I had when I was in college.
Well, I'll tell you what, from what you just told me right now, maybe the reason why you went through that is so you could be at this point right now doing what you're doing.
Yes, it's possible.
So
it's
God,
very much possible.
God had you in situations not for you to give up, but to gain experience and find something to reference so you can pass it on when you're helping other people.
Absolutely.
What if I am living my purpose? How much different would your life be? What if you are living your dreams? What if you are earning the income that you desire? What if you are living a life full of peace and happiness and joy? And what if you are living in drive? How much different would your life be? And think about this. What if you were living in fear? What if you were living a life full of procrastination? What if you were living a life, what if you were living someone else's dreams and running from your own dreams? What if you were living in park, reverse, and neutral? How much different would your life be? Or how much the same would your life be? What if I am?
Why a scholarship fund that's for single mothers? In your opinion, why?
Well, I feel that there are, and it goes back to my experiences, me being a single parent, raising 2 children, a girl and a boy, and I know the struggles that I went through. So I could imagine, although it was over 20 years ago, I still can imagine some of the troubles that single parents might go through, especially now with the economy the way it is. And a lot of cuts have been made. So it's just my way of trying to give back and to help those, because God always sent someone to help me.
Everyone should help each other. So that's great. I've never met your son. I've met your daughter. So I must say that I think you did I know you did a great job for the parenting and being a single mom. So once again, I applaud you for that. I think I'm going to be praising you throughout this whole interview, but it's all good. What goals are you focusing on for the scholarship fund?
Well, we're focusing on trying to become the #1 organization that will support single parents spiritually, emotionally, and tangibly. And I don't say physically, I say tangibly, because they need things that they can touch, like books. They might need a couple of extra dollars to pay for a class. Their children might need some clothes. And I also have a stash of clothing, shoes and outerwear that the women as well as the adults can come in and get clothing and stuff like that.
I think that's great. Where can people donate the clothes? Do you take donations for clothes?
Yes, we take donations. They can contact us by the Mamie Lee SF@gmail.com, or they can call 410-908-1782, and we will pick up as well.
Okay, everyday peoples, you heard that. Let's help each other, okay? If you starting a scholarship fund, I see education is very important to you. Is this your passion to see others excel in developing their educational goals?
Yes, it's one of my passions in life, because a lot of people use that word education so loosely, because many times people are just trained to do something. But when you're truly educated, you invoke the wisdom into your learning, whereby you can make decisions that not only benefit you, but benefit others as well. True education is not selfish. It's willing to share, it's willing to spread its wings, unlike training is. And in most instances, people are just merely trained how to do something, how to remember something. But like I said, when you're truly educated, you're willing to pass it on. Your wisdom is a part of it, so that you can uplift others, not just yourself.
Yeah, most people, as far as training is concerned, they're like human robots, if that makes any sense. That's no such thing, but they're like human robots, whereas somebody who's educated, they actually think for themselves.
Right.
And they could have a situation in front of them, do some critical thinking, break it down and fix whatever problem is necessary. They don't have to
right.
go by, oh man, my training never spoke about this, so man, I'm just leave it to somebody else to handle.
Right.
I think that we as a society too often do that. We rather just wait till somebody else fixes the problem. If it don't get fixed, we start pointing fingers at each other.
Right, right.
And instead of trying to figure it out as a unit, as how to squash or quell that problem
Right.
from becoming worse than it already is. So yeah, I think education is one of your passions for your scholarship fund is great. In reference to this particular scholarship fund, are there any more passions involved, or any other directions you're trying to branch off? I know that you should focus on one thing first, but once you get this solidified, is there anything else you're trying to do?
Well, it will always be about helping people, because I consider myself to be a Christian, and when you go back in Scripture and you talk about the beginning of the church and the dispensation that we're in now, it was always about helping someone else. And when you read about how the church was and how the wealthy didn't just gave away, it was always about making everybody equal and everybody not wanting for anything. And that's my ideal, is to get people involved in helping each other. And it's not always with giving something tangible. One day I might just need just a word of encouragement to get me to that next level, or to push me along the way. One day I might need someone to just hold my hand and walk me up the step for that day. That might just make me feel so good that I could just fly from that point on. So it's about meeting the person where they are and helping them to achieve their dream.